if they're not going to be the guys, then have a group of people that'll follow a certain guy that's going to be the one that leads them to where it needs to be. And it hasn't been there. I haven't seen it. And the inconsistency I saw last year was so bad in key games. When you think about A&M being a key game, going into the Alabama game the following week, and you give up almost 40 points, and so many big plays. I think we led the league. We led the SEC in big plays, over 20 yards. I mean, and we almost broke. I think we broke a record for Arkansas within like 5 games of the season. So it's just too many big plays, and not any guys that were going to step up and be the one to say, you know what, no more.
What do you see? Like, what did you guys have that maybe Arkansas hasn't had for a while on defense? Quinton Caver.
Well, Coach Allen used to tell us, once we cross that white line, you got to turn the switch on. It's all attitude. You have to want to do it when it comes down to it. You have to be the one, like, I'm going to make this play or I'm going to make this stop. But everybody had that mentality on the defense, not just one person. We all wanted to be around the ball. We all wanted to make the big play. And that's what you have to have. And you got to have someone that's going to step in and step up and say, follow me, let's get this done, regardless. We have to get a stop. We have to get this done. And it's all about your mentality. You have to have your mentality to get that done.
You still got to go back to the grind that got you here. And I think a lot of them lose that grind that really got them to this point. And it goes to getting a little bit comfortable because, we start getting spoiled. And as a defensive player, you gotta be ready to get down and dirty. I mean, it's not about being, coming out of the game clean. It's about, having some bruises and being beat up and trying to beat somebody else up. And I think we have to get back to that mentality of, we're going to go and enforce our will like we had the Code Red when we played. That needs to be reinforced, because it just doesn't seem like we have a defense that wants to, sort of force their will on someone else. We want to react, and we don't want to be ones to make that offense react. We used to have defenses where we knew the quarterback they weren't going to hold the ball for longer than 2 seconds. We got to get back to that.
Our defense was the offense. You know what I mean? Like, the team thrived. They got pumped up on how well we would do. Because when we all came in, we came into a situation where we had the Kenoy Kennedys, the David Barretts in the secondary, and those guys, we followed their lead. And so when we all came in as secondary guys, me, Ken Hamlin, Tony Boer, Lawrence Richardson, Marvin Jackson, Batman, like all these guys, we had these guys that basically showed us the ropes. And so I just feel like right now there's a disconnect with, what Ken is saying, is basically having that dog mentality. Like, when we go out there, forget don't forget the offense, but we can create our own plays. We can do our own thing and not just rely on the offense. And that's what we used to think. We used to have a situation where we would compete over batted balls, interceptions. We would try to create plays within the game on our own and not rely on the offense. And that's ultimately why, we had, basically the top secondary in the SEC when we were playing.